Everyone thinks hosting the Olympics is an economic windfall. The ledgers tell a different story. Exhibit 1, Montreal hosted the Summer Games in 1976. The city borrowed heavily to build venues, infrastructure, and the iconic Olympic Stadium. By the time the debt was fully repaid, 30 years later, residents had paid roughly $2.7 billion for an event that lasted 2 weeks. Nobody in this story was stupid. The politicians who greenlit the spending knew exactly what they were doing. They were paid politically and financially to see the games happen. The debt, that was someone else's problem. Exhibit 2, the infrastructure costs are staggering and they are front-loaded. A host city doesn't just build Olympic venues, it builds roads, airports, rail networks, security systems, and accommodation. Tokyo spent roughly $26 billion on the 2020 Olympics, making it the most expensive summer games ever. Rio de Janeiro, 2016, spent around $15 billion. These aren't frivolous numbers. They are structural commitments that outlive the event itself. But here's what makes this economic puzzle interesting. Some of those long-term assets do generate returns. A new metro line moves commuters for decades. An airport expansion handles domestic traffic. The venues themselves become concert halls, sports complexes, training centers. The trick is timing. Benefits arrive slowly. Costs arrive immediately, upfront and in full. Exhibit 3, the tourism bounce is real but temporary. Host cities do see a surge of visitors, spending on hotels, restaurants, and merchandise. But research shows the spike lasts during and immediately after the Games. Within 2 to 3 years, visitor numbers often return to baseline. The infrastructure remains, the debt remains, the tourists, they move on. Exhibit 4, displacement costs are rarely factored into official economic projections. Host cities routinely relocate residents and businesses to make room for Olympic facilities and Olympic Village housing. These aren't trivial operations. They trigger legal disputes, compensation claims, and lost tax revenue from displaced businesses. London, 2012, displaced thousands. The economic impact of displacement, lost productivity, litigation, social friction doesn't appear on the promotional brochures. So why do cities keep bidding? Because the incentive structure rewards decision-makers in the present, not citizens in the future. A mayor gets ribbon-cutting ceremonies and global attention. A construction company gets a decade of contracts. A hospitality group books years of events. The bill arrives after everyone has moved on. That's not accident, that's architecture. The economic impact of hosting the Olympics is real. It's just not always positive for the people who live there. Short-term stimulus, long-term structural debt, and wealth concentration among contractors and hospitality firms, that's the actual ledger. The games themselves are spectacular. The economics, however, tell a story about who benefits and who pays. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to see how fortunes are built on events that cost cities billions and who actually pockets the returns. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.